Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Dad's Wild. So, today I'm going to be changing the drive belts on the Sawmill. It looks to me like they've gotten a little worn, and I think partially that's my fault, because when I first bought it, I think I had tightened the belt too much, so it caused it to wear kind of weird. And I've kind of noticed it's getting a little wavy cuts. I've tried fixing that, but I think the drive belt's the main issue. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll get everything off and we'll swap out with some new belts. So for those of you that don't know how to take the blade off, got to get this yellow guard off first. There's usually two 10mm bolts right here. So you got to loosen those. And then with those loose, you can just pull it out like that. And then you're free to pull the blade off. There we go. This one should be easy, it just pulls right off. As you can see, there's kind of a lip on there, or a burr. This side's not too bad, but I don't know why one side would be different than the other. So to get the drive belt off, we have to loosen the engine and untension it. So we'll do that back here. So there's 4 bolts that hold the engine on. So you gotta loosen them. Okay, so with those 4 bolts loosened, should be able to get in here and adjust this back, loosen it a little bit, and then we can push the engine. That should loosen the drive belt, which it has. Okay, here's the new belt. Old one off. So if you can see, it has the same issue as the other one, but well, maybe a little bit worse on here, but it's on both sides too. So I think that's probably because it was too tight, is what I'm thinking. I'm not positive, but that's what I'm going to go with anyway. So we'll put the new one on. Doesn't really have any, doesn't have any direction arrows, so just get it on here. Check the bearings too. Pretty good. Seems all right. Clean some of the sawdust out while we're here also. Okay. May have to loosen the engine a bit more. So I have the engine at the end of its throw now, and well, looks like it helped. Went on nice and easy. So now we gotta tension it. So we'll tension it by retightening these screws here. When you get your saw, it doesn't come with this nut, I've seen, but I just had an extra one, so I put it on there, just as a little follower. But this is the main one you tighten. All right, so I think it's tight now. So when I first got the mill, I thought the belt was a little loose because I was checking up here. Because in the manual it says 1/2 inch total movement with a firm move with your hand, and I thought it didn't say where to test it at, so I was testing it up here. But I watched one of MechMaxx's tutorial videos, and it looked like they were testing it here, so I got that pretty close to 1/2 inch total movement. So we'll give that a try, and hopefully this one lasts longer than that first one. So with the belt tight, I'll go ahead and tighten up the engine bolts here. All right, that should be good. Now let's do the quick and easy belt. Grab the new one here. And we're done. That was easy. So I went ahead and took the blade guides off. Decided to give them a little bit of a clean out the gutters in them, or whatever you want to call them. So I'll put the blocks back on, but while I still have the guides out, I'll put the blade on. All right, let's get this blade put on. Alright, I got the blade on there. A while to get the tracking right. It needed to be readjusted. I had to do that side, get that realigned. But now it's running pretty good. It's set off about right where I like it. So now I've got to put my blade guides back in and get those set at the right thickness. Okay, so I got some feeler gauges with me. I'll get use 5 thousandths of an inch. The manual says the thickness of a piece of paper to space them at, so that's 3 thou, so I'll go a little bit more. And we'll get the back set as well. So I just tried to get my best to get the blade centered in this gap here, just so it's even and easier to align the guides up. And then I have it set off the back of this bearing just a little bit. I can't really get my feeler gauge in there because it's kind of a rounded hole, but got it close. I touched off and then backed it up just a hair. And I think that's probably, you know, close enough. So now I'll get my blade guides in. So just set it in there. Hold it on there. Top one's a little easier. Still's a bit difficult though. Wants to move stuff when you tighten down. So it's hard to get it to stay where it needs to be. So we'll come over to this side now and get this one set up. Get the top one now. What do you guys think? Should I go in the hand modeling business instead? Probably be a bad career choice. I think that'll do. Get my lubrication nozzle screwed back on here. And there we go. Well, it's not perfect, but I think it'll work. So I'll get this guard put back on. We'll slide this back on. Put our bolts in. So let's go ahead and give the new belts a test. We'll edge this board real quick and hopefully it cuts well. Well, seems to be cutting pretty straight. Back on to production. Thank you all for watching. I hope some of you learned something, and I'll see y'all in the next one.